Hello everyone, welcome to day number 6 of our 5th custom drag race tournament. In today's first round, we will have Astro9R, Alex, Sneaky Bob, and Numero Uno. Let's see if Numero Uno will live up to their name. So far they're not, as Sneaky Bob takes the lead and the first victory of today. And they finished with a time of 3.12. So far, fastest time, which I believe will be really hard to beat, is held by Blue Line with 3.01. You would have to get 3 seconds flat or finish under 3 seconds in order to get the fastest time at this point, which is an absolute rarity. And maybe one of these races can pull something off that we do not expect. And here we go, race number 2. Sneaky Bob takes the early lead. Numero Uno trying to catch back up, cannot do it. So the second win also goes to Sneaky Bob. They're trying to get at least 3.10, which you want to finish at or under at this point, knowing how fast some of these other racers can be. So finishing anything above 3.10 could be risky later on, depending on who you go up against. But Sneaky Bob is just looking for a third victory to guarantee their spot in the next round. Can they do it? They go down the ramp. Alex actually had a slow start on that one, and they quickly fell behind as Sneaky Bob grabs win number 3, so they will be progressing to the next phase. Finishing a little slower this time, but that doesn't mean that they'll always finish that slow. Again, 3.10 to 3.15 isn't terrible, but considering how fast we've seen some of these other racers go, you definitely don't want to stay there. But now Sneaky Bob is just trying to stay undefeated for now. And we've had quite a few days where someone, usually in these tournaments is what I mean, Sneaky Bob does get that 4th win, by the way. What I was trying to get at is that in most of our drag race tournaments, almost everyone who moves on is usually undefeated. But in this particular tournament, that doesn't seem to be the case, as there's usually at least 1 or 2 people per day, with a minor exception here and there, where at least one person goes on that didn't win every race. But Sneaky Bob is going to progress so far undefeated. And now for the second round, let's see if everyone else can do the same. We have Bash and Brenda, Mom, Repo, and Dusty Miles. Dusty Miles is a fan favorite, and for good reason. They take off, leaving everyone else in the dust, grabbing a very easy first win, finishing under 3.10 with a 3.07. A really good time. Still not the fastest, obviously, but that is definitely more their speed. This is definitely a formidable racer. Repo, Mom, and Bash and Brenda have some work to do. Also, that design on Mom looks very familiar from the last group. But there goes Dusty Miles again, clearly getting the second win. Finishing with 3.10 even this time. If from this angle, it almost looks like they're a lot closer than they actually are. But as you can tell by the times, they're all at least a 1/10 of a second slower than Dusty Miles. At the very least, anyway. But now Dusty Miles is looking for the win to get them to the next round. And look at that, the moment the race begins, it already seems like they're a length ahead of everybody else, and that just keeps growing as they get closer and closer to the finish line. Dusty Miles, meanwhile, is looking to somehow finish under 3.10 again to get them to breathe a sigh of relief, knowing that they can be a little more consistent. If they can't, then they could be in trouble later on. So Dusty Miles is already progressing. Can they get undefeated? Oh, it looked like Repo actually had a moment where they were in front of Dusty Miles, but Dusty Miles pulls away, getting win number 4, and they will move on with an undefeated title, at least for the time being. And they do finish under 3.10. Not by much, but every little bit helps, as they say. So we have 2 racers so far, at least in this video, that have gone on to stay undefeated for the time being. Now let's see if we have another day where all 4 winners can do the same. And in the third group, it's Matt McNear, Raging Ricky, Sneaky Bob again, and Zap. It looks like we have a 3-way race here, but I believe that's Zap who got the first win in the end. If I'm getting the names wrong, it's because they happen to go by so fast that I don't have a lot of time to memorize each one before the race begins. And I like to commentate by watching it for the first time right alongside you, so that my commentary is as legitimate as possible. But that was actually Sneaky Bob. Zap was actually the one who finished in 4th. So Sneaky Bob does get another win. They're looking to get a second one, but that was a little bit closer with Raging Ricky. But Sneaky Bob does get a second win. Zap, meanwhile, finishes in 4th again and almost derails. And Sneaky Bob already has 1 racer moving on. They're trying to get 2, which makes you wonder, just like in a previous video in this tournament, what would happen if somebody has one of their racers go up against someone under the same name. So if Sneaky Bob goes up against his other vehicle, what's going to happen there? And there they go again. Sneaky Bob has a clear-cut victory this time around. Raging Ricky isn't too far behind, but there's no denying that Sneaky Bob got that 3rd win, so he'll be moving on once again. Zap is trying to get something going here, but if you have a slow start, especially on a short track like this, it's not going to be easy to catch back up. But now Sneaky Bob is looking for 2 racers in the same day to win every single race that they're in. And look at this, Matt McNear seemed to be having a good start, but then look at this, the entire way through, they were fishtailing. And I think if they were staying straight the whole time, they might have been able to get something going. But you can see their back end could not sit still. But Sneaky Bob does get 4 wins in a row once more, which leaves us with 1 more group to race. Now in the 4th and final round, at least for today, we have Scooter, Wade and Waylon, Rich T, and Daily Commute. And who is in the lead? It is Daily Commute, followed closely by Rich T. And Daily Commute gets win number 1. And they finish with a 3.21. That is not where you want to be right now. So hopefully for them, that was just a fluke. But if they keep this up, they'll at least have more chances in later parts of the tournament to get a little bit quicker than this. But for now, things are in favor of Daily Commute. Can Rich T, Scooter, or Wade and Waylon make something happen here? Rich T does have the lead for just a moment, but as they get into the flat part of the track, Daily Commute gets the win after pulling away by a significant amount, finishing at the exact same time of 3.21. Rich T is giving him some contention at first, but then Daily Commute, once they get down to the bottom of the ramp, they just take off. Which some of these racers that we've seen in this tournament have been able to do as well. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens when some of them go up against each other. And now Daily Commute is looking to get the 3rd win to seal the deal, and they will get it. A fantastic run. This could be one of the few days in this tournament so far where all 4 winners stay undefeated. They just need one more victory here, and they will get it. Finishing ever so slightly quicker this time with a 3.20. Just one more race. Let's see if they can do it. And here we go, the race is underway. Daily Commute gets about a half a length ahead and then pulls even further away, and they will get that fourth and final win. And they finish with a 3.23 actually. That's slightly slower than they were. So nobody is able to get blue lines time, which is already very difficult to do. But all four racers in today's video that won stayed winning, not losing a single race, at least up till now. So with that, here is the added roster to all the people moving on. I believe this will set us up for the next phase of the tournament. Thank you all so much for watching. See you next time.